Hello and welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I just wanted to do a quick video, honestly, because I just came from church and I just felt like making another video. I still have my makeup on, I have my dress on, so I just thought this was a good time to come on the internet and talk. And I want to be positive though this time around. I don't want to be negative. I feel like I come on here a lot and talk about my gripes about the world and the state of my life and my experiences and my gripes about, I was thinking about doing my thoughts around like being a psychiatrist, but I know a lot of people come to my channel or have come to my channel because of the whole psychiatry aspect. So I will say quickly a couple of things that I think I still would like to change, but the rest of the video will be positive. But I wish that there was more time put into our schedule for writing notes and doing things other than seeing patients, because we do a lot of other stuff outside of seeing patients, but for some reason in a lot of roles or positions they don't allocate time for that, and it's just, I guess, thought that you'll just do that whenever you can, or if you have 30-minute appointments back to back to back to back all day long, that you're finishing your notes during the session or something, or that you're only seeing people for 20 minutes and then doing your note for 5 minutes and then you have like a 5-minute break. But that's really hard to do because sometimes you need to take longer time with certain people. They may have more issues than you anticipated. They may have more to talk about than you anticipated. Some people, it takes a little bit more to like get to what's going on and figuring out what's going on to help them. It doesn't just come like that with everybody, you know. So I was just thinking about that the other day. Like sometimes it's a lot of work just kind of like piecing together what is going on and figuring out what is going on with someone, because they may think it's one thing, but it could be other stuff going on, or they may not know how to communicate that to you, but you have to piece it together from like what they're telling you. And sometimes people get mad when you're trying to like really understand what they're saying, and sometimes they contradict themselves, and then when you point out that they're contradicting themselves and they get mad at you, and I'm like, but you just said, because it's like sometimes people, I think, don't understand what they're saying or like their experience of the world, and they're kind of like mindlessly going through the world, and then when they're finally, they sit down and confront their life, they realize things that maybe they've been trying to avoid and not talk about, but when they have to actually talk about it to someone, it can be a lot for them, and so then you got to deal with that. And so, you know, it's just, it can be a lot, so that can take time, and just getting the information to come to an assessment and plan. So it would be nice to have more time, or time be allocated to writing your note, you know, calling people, writing prescriptions, things that we're expected to do, and that in a lot of jobs you're required to do by a certain time, but then they don't give you time to do the notes. That's mandatory part of your job. Doesn't make sense. But of course, if you had your own private practice, you could allocate as much time as you want to that. So another reason why that might be the way to go for some people. Another thing that I would like to see change, I think it would be nice if things were a little bit more clear with certain diagnoses, things like ADHD and stuff like that. I feel like it's really up in the air. I've been reading different things about, you know, how things are changing around ADHD and how we look at it. And some people are really against the treatment that we have now, and some people are really for it. And so it's just, I think it's kind of unclear how you navigate ADHD. And I wish it was a lot more clear. I'm not gonna go into that any further, but yeah, I guess those are the two things. But other things that I wanted to be more positive about, things that are going well in my life. You know, I recently moved, and I would say it's been going pretty well. It's been a mixture. I'm listening to this book called The Mountain Is You, and it mentioned that sometimes we will constantly be moving and changing things to like, and we think that things are going well because we moved or we got a new job. But in reality, you're not really treating like the deeper issue. You're just distracting yourself for a short period of time with this new shiny thing. But then the issue is still there, and it can even get worse as you continue to change and move around. And I don't know if that's the case with me, but of course, yeah, moving, it's been nice to be in a new environment, and I feel like I've had new opportunities to like be social and meet people. I don't know why I felt like it was so hard to do things in Chicago. It felt like the only thing you could do is like go to the club or go out to eat. But I feel like those were things you had to do in a group. It was hard to find things that you could do just by yourself and feel comfortable and not feel just out of place doing by yourself. But here, I feel like I found things that you can kind of do on your own a little bit more. And it's just, the weather is nicer, so I just feel more comfortable like going out, being outside, doing things. I'm a lot darker, I feel like, than I used to be. I got a tan. I gotta really use my sunscreen. Now I'm thinking about that, like, oh Lord, I'm being exposed to all this sun. But hopefully, you know, that's fine. Just got to use sunscreen. And yeah, I got in a tennis league. I couldn't find a tennis league in Chicago for some reason. Like, I just really found that hard. But I got in a tennis league. I've been doing that and enjoying that. I'm in this tennis club that I go to. They have events like every week, and it's really fun. Meeting people kind of there. But like I said before, I haven't made like a whole lot of connections because I'm usually, in my experience, I'm usually the one that doesn't really like fit in with the group. I'm usually the one like on the fringes, like kind of ostracized a little bit. So it's so funny. Like, I follow this woman. I was gonna say girl because she calls herself girl, and she even made a video about it. Like, she calls herself girl even though she's like a woman, a grown woman. But all her videos are about being like an introvert and being by herself and stuff. And she talked about how she joined a pickleball league or team or something. And she talked about how she has friends now. Like, the first time she went, she met people, and then the second time she went, they talked for an hour after they played, and then the third time she like went out to eat with, and now she has like friends just that quick, just after going 2 or 3 times. And I'm like, I wish, you know, that would be nice. But I'm starting to realize that I think I look at certain people and think, you know, the cool people, the good looking people, and I'm like, oh, I want to be friends with them like everybody. But I never seem to fit into that group. But then I feel like I discount the people that I actually do naturally fit with, and I need to stop doing that and thinking that just because the cool kids aren't noticing me, or I'm not fitting in with their group, or they're naturally kind of pulling away from me or not really engaging with me. But there are people that I feel like have been engaging with me. It's typically older women that I think also they get pushed because they're older. They're not, you know, the cool crowd or whatever. So yeah, I usually tend to interact with those people, and I feel more comfortable interacting with the people on the fringes too. So I think it's partly me as well. But sometimes I notice for some reason just this like tension. Like, whenever I interact with some people, it's just like immediate tension, immediate, just, it just doesn't work, you know. Like, I was at this training for my job, and I had to partner with this woman, and I would say she was a pretty lady. I didn't know this woman, but I was a little nervous because I don't know this lady. And I don't know, it was like immediately it was just tension. And initially it was okay, but then I don't know, it just got kind of like weird. And I don't know, she just kind of seemed kind of turned off from me. And I was trying to explain something, or we were having a discussion, and I was just saying something, and she was like, oh, I understand that, but what is this and that, and da, 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 you know, as if I was like talking down to her or something. And I don't think I was, but we just weren't understanding each other. I don't know. So yeah, I feel like sometimes that can happen, where you just have this tension with people just out of nowhere. And like, I want to get along with people. But it just seems like sometimes people just find things to be upset with you about. And I feel like even in other situations, I feel like I try to talk to the cool kids, and it's like immediately they're just like turned off. Or I don't know, like I was trying to talk to one of the people there, and I was trying to say, oh, we could do this and we can do that, like in terms of playing. And again, it was like, I thought I was saying something very clear. And I think I was saying like, oh, the person was like, oh, we could just play doubles. And I wasn't understanding them. And because I was like, isn't there too many people to play doubles? And they were like, oh, no, we have enough. We can play, you know, with 4 people. But it was 8 people still left. And I was like, but there's 8 people. And then they were like, oh, but we play on 2 courts. And I was like, oh, because I was thinking we were just gonna play on 1 court. And so, yeah. And it was just like, and it didn't need to be like awkward for whatever reason. But it just I feel like it's because they just don't want to interact with me. They just want to find a reason as to why they don't want to interact with me. But when in reality, it's how I look. They don't think that I'm cool enough, or my vibe isn't whatever enough that they find me interesting, right? And another example is, we were playing by certain rules, and this one person goes up, and we were playing like where you have to play a certain number of points. Basically, the rules got bent for this one person, one of the cool kids. But when I did whatever it was, nobody wanted, you know, we played by the rules when it came to me. But then when it was the cool kid, we bent the rules for this person. And I knew it was gonna happen. I knew this person, they like made a mistake, and then it was like, oh, it's okay, we can just, it's fine when you do it. But when I had just did it just right before them, and it was like, nope, you're next, you know what I mean? And it's like, huh? So anyway, yeah, that's kind of me complaining a little bit. But so these little things happen, but I just moved past it. I would say overall it's been fun, you know, playing as much tennis as I do. No, I'm listening to this book, you know, The Mountain Is You, trying to navigate through this and not let little things get to me, not be upset about these little things, and trying to figure out how to handle it and not let it ruin the whole experience. Because yeah, I would say overall it's pretty fun. But yeah, I do feel sometimes kind of in my head and feeling uncomfortable, and feeling like my experience and the way I'm being treated is different than others, and that bothers me, I'm gonna be honest. And one thing that I just heard on that book, The Mountain Is You, I'm listening to it, is that it said, you know, your feelings are valid. Being wanted is natural as humans. Wanting to be validated is natural as humans. It doesn't mean that you're weird or it's not normal to want to feel that way, right? And that was very like validating for me, because sometimes I feel like, am I doing too much? Like, am I expecting too much out of the world? Am I expecting too much out of other people? And it said in the book, you use that that feeling or whatever makes you upset or sad, you use that to guide you in your actions to create the life that you want. Use it to show you what you really want and what you need to do moving forward to get what you really want out of life. So if certain things make you angry or sad, instead of shying away from those emotions, you notice it and see what that's trying to tell you about yourself and what you really want, you know. So at least that's my understanding. I'm probably explaining it all wrong, so, but anyway, so yeah, I would say that's that. And I'm trying to be positive, but I'm noticing even by myself, my brain just, it like very quickly points out, but this is going on, like, yeah. But also, you know, like there's always like a negative thought right up under the surface, you know. And I guess that's telling me, you know, that maybe I need to try to have more positive experiences and try to do more things that do lead to a positive experience for me, so that I can have more balance and not have so many of these negative experiences that are outweighing the positive, and try to do everything I can in my power to do more things that I enjoy. Maybe that's what I need to, I'm just realizing that as I'm doing this, as I'm talking this through, maybe that's what I need to do. Do more things I truly enjoy and that I really like. Be around more people that I really enjoy. Because maybe there's an imbalance of too many experiences where I'm uncomfortable, where I'm not happy and not enjoying it. And so my brain is just constantly being refreshed with all these negative experiences and thoughts. I think that's it. I just wanted to do a quick video, just talking again, and my quick thoughts on things I would like to see changed in psychiatry, and also trying to talk about the good things that are going on in my life, but also the not so good that comes along with that. But, and I guess also realizing that there's always gonna be the good and the bad. And I'm thinking about this one reel that I saw of this therapist lady, and she was really talking about how she feels a lot of people nowadays are very soft, basically, and think that everything is over exaggerate a lot of things. And I'm really paraphrasing and probably not explaining it well, but that she feels like a lot of people can't handle just daily experiences that really shouldn't be that significant to you, and that we should be able to navigate through these experiences without completely just breaking down, you know, and be able to regulate our emotions a lot better. And I do agree. I agree. But then I kind of felt a little like, is she talking about me? Is this me? Do I do this? Am I too fragile? Do I make a big deal out of little things? Somebody not liking me or not being part of the cool clique. Am I making a big deal out of this and overreacting to this, when in reality, I should just be able to let it just roll off my back, you know, like water. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, so I think that's it. Thank you for watching. This is me talking again. I guess this is like my little podcast of me just talking about things. Because I don't know, I tried vlogging. I don't know. And I don't think I want to do that, but who knows? You know, I just do whatever on this channel. But thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.